Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Take it on the run, on the run, on the run. Hear them calling you and me.
Hello, welcome back to Frontline Rejects. Today on the channel, we're braving the freezing cold of Eastern WA to continue our expansion series. Today, we're testing the 129 grain Hornady SST out of our 6.5 Creedmoor. This is a non-bonded, controlled expansion round that we'll be shooting from 1 to 500 yards out of our Savage X's. And like always, please stick around for the end of the video when we get into the graphing. If you enjoy our content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get started.
As we're wrapping up the shooting here, one thing I want to mention is we had camera failure issues at both the 3 and 500 yard marks. At 300, the camera on the shooter cut out, as did the target camera at the 5. We believe this is due to the cold weather, and it is something we are working to correct moving forward. Now looking at the Hornady SSTs from all ranges fired, we have interesting results. At every range, we had almost the exact same jacket and core separation. The only difference is how high or low on the shank separation occurred. Looking more closely at the 100, we have good mushrooming from the lead core. This is repeated at the 200, but it looks like the core almost spun sideways and only the tip flattened. At the 300, good mushrooming, but again, complete separation. We see the same at the 4, and similar to the 2, the core appears to have twisted sideways after impact. The 500 is very similar to all the other ranges, but here we can see that the mushrooming of the core and tearing of the jacket occurred much closer to the tip of the bullet. Looking at our graft results, we see on paper good expansion, a high of 2.4 times the original size with an average of 2.23. Weight retention is on average 75%. Now that we've looked at the bullets and the data, I'd like to draw some conclusions and make a recommendation based on what we have here. First, what I like about the round is it's extremely accurate. I don't have a huge amount of experience running 6.5s, but I found this bullet to be extremely accurate. I don't know if it's simply a reflection on the caliber, or if the Hornady SSTs are just inherently accurate rounds. Either way, we're still holding extremely tight patterns out to 500, and I was impressed. Now to get into the negative. Looking at our expansion, we have 2.2 times average expansion, which sounds great. We need to remember, however, that this is a measure of the widest point across the jacket. As such, it's a much better measure of quality when used to judge monolithic or bonded core bullets. While the SST jackets did expand well to over 2 times their original size, I think this is the first bullet I've ever tested where the jacket was almost always stuck right around the first or second jug. The core would then be somewhere around the 5th row. In my opinion, I do not think that this would be a good hunting round, as I believe that the jacket would almost uniformly come separated upon impact, that the only material contributing to the wound channel would be the lead core. My guess is the jacket would barely penetrate, and as neither the jackets nor the core seem to fragment at all, like the Sierra Game Kings we've tested, I don't have confidence that this round would impart enough shock to produce a clean kill. The core seemed to veer sideways on us after separation. and at several times when we hit the center row of jugs, the core would end up in the outside row. When hitting large game, it's likely that upon striking any bone, the core would either deflect or fail to break through due to it carrying so little mass following separation. Personally, when using a non-bonded core bullet, or a bullet that doesn't have some other effective method of maintaining jacket core integrity, such as a partition or an interlock, I want the round to fragment and in essence explode to cause as much shock trauma. I do not believe the Hornady SST in 6.5 would be capable of doing that. Now the SST may perform better in other calibers. Perhaps with a wider diameter like 30 cal, it would stay intact better. And this is something we are going to put to the test. Another point I want to mention is annealing. Some people online talk about annealing their bullets, with the SST specifically mentioned, to soften the metals and ensure better expansion. While this is an interesting concept, we disregarded performing the process because we feel it is outside the scope of what the average hunter is going to do when buying factory ammo or loading their own. We feel it is more representative and fairer to test these bullets as they come from the factory. Most people, if they get poor results from a bullet, will likely just buy different bullets. Annealing is a subject we may get into in the future, but we have no concrete plans regarding it currently. In the meantime, I do not recommend this bullet for use hunting big game in 6.5 chamberings. If you got something useful out of today's content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.